deep. We're on. Hello, welcome. You've joined us deep in thought and mid-conversation, but here we are. You're joining us today for ETF2L Season 24, Week 4, between Bags of 5 and Crowns eSports. My name is Bren, and I'm joined today by, once again, WARHURYEAH.
Hey.
How's it going? You excited for the game?
Very.
Yeah, we just had this conversation. You don't sound very enthusiastic about it, but I'm definitely excited to see if GSER can step up to the plate, because I know Crowns have been getting some practice in, playing a few pretty top tier teams. They've been playing against Nameless, which, I mean, you could call me an idiot for calling Nameless a top tier team as it stands, because they haven't been looking too hot recently, but I still consider them pretty much top in EU, on par with Perilous in a lot of ways. But talk to me, War, talk to me. What are your hopes for this game? If I was to point out a single person, if I was to ask you the same question I asked you the other day, what one person do you think is going to be a big impact gamer?
Probably Thaigrr for Crowns, because when he was playing for whatever team it used to be, Infused. I knew that, David. Don't interrupt. Jesus, such a rude boy. Yeah, he was probably like one of their better players. Performed really well, was nice and consistent even against tough teams. And Crowns last time casted them when they were known as Pubic Hair.
Mm-hmm.
They have Buttnose Merking, who was unfortunately their best player as a Merc.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know, they need someone that they can sort of like, that will lead them off into the distance with their sick rocket jumps and plays. Buttnose gave them that breath of fresh air, and they need Thaigrr to do the same, I think, because without it, they just seem like they have no idea what to do.
That's a fair comment to make. I was going to ask what your opinion is of. I mean, have you watched many of Crowns' games? They haven't been looking too great recently.
Yeah,
took the ball a few times.
It's the same thing where they just seem to not have any idea what to do. They seem to just sort of be caught in like two minds. I think when they played against Happy Farmers, I think there was the infamous Brego backcap fiasco on Process, where he managed to jump behind them and had enough time to walk onto Spire and cap it for the duration without pain train or anything. So these are sort of like the blunderous and constant mistakes these guys make. I don't know. Well, it's always apparently Kaya calling, and then he sulks apparently, and then he stops calling, and then somebody else does it, and then he goes back to calling. So it just depends.
It sounds like my team, but you don't really expect that kind of behaviour at a Prem level, but it does happen, I guess.
I think it's like none of them just sort of no, they just don't either have the experience, or I would actually, having played with AMs before, I guess it might be a case of frustration of maybe your call's not being listened to. Because when I played with him in TLR, it took me about 3 hours to try to explain to him what the difference between overextending and creating spaces, and he still didn't understand. Okay,
so not very high hopes for Crowns coming into this. Or...
There will be. Like, I mean, they're going to be better than whoever these Russian scrubs are.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just if Crowns need to improve, they really have to do something like now, because it's when they used to be Saints. They've just been mediocre forever. And that's it. They don't seem to be able to get better than mediocre. That's like their pinnacle point, and you can tell that they want to be more than that, but again, they never play like it.
Well, this is definitely going to be the proving grounds to an extent. Bags of 5. I don't think it's controversial to say that they're not the best team in Prem. You know, I think most people aren't predicting them to go that far when it comes to it. So, I mean, most people would expect publicly, because I should say Crowns, they place them as like a top 4 team. They're going to be either third or fourth. However, recently it's looking like they're not even at that level. So I think it's going to be a test now. If they can handedly smash GSER, they're on the right track to something great, and they definitely got the potential in the team to make that happen as well.
They need to win both the maps flat out. If they take, or even if there goes a golden cap, then it's a failure to me.
It's a failure to you.
Yeah, Dad would. I think
a lot of people will be disappointed. Not just you, but
I'd be very disappointed in my son hands. Thaigrr was stern talking to.
These are just the facts that have been brought to us anyway. Publicly, definitely want to show that they've got something to. They've got more to prove than most other teams anyway at this point in time. With DreamHack on the horizon as well, very soon now. They're going to be playing there on this Saturday and Sunday actually. So if you got nothing to do on the weekend, guys, come watch TF2 gameplay being casted by loads of really cool people, and maybe even watch the show match, which is going to be tomorrow between Comfortably Spanked and Crowns again. So once again, that's a little bit of a taster. But yeah, moving into this, there's not much more to say other than what we've already said about how GSER. I mean, I was just watching GSER play against Happy Farmers, and they were getting kind of rolled into the ground into some sort of like mushy paste, and just strewn all over. So yeah, I mean, and this is Happy Farmers, and I don't know if they were playing with Shocky as well. And Shocky is kind of one of their most impactful players on that squad of gamers. So
I don't know, not at the moment. It's definitely Brego. Yeah, like Shocky's not as good as he used to be. He's sort of is speeding up and progressing. It's because he played Overwatch for too long, so naturally his talents have been dumbed down by
just been erased away.
Yeah, by such a huge margin. Whereas Brego is just like he's just mental.
Yeah, I think he doesn't sleep.
Yeah, Bags of Fives is probably gonna. Is it Reckoner next map?
It is, yeah.
Oh, what a treat! I reckon that Bags could probably. I mean, they've got some proper good DM. Like that is the main sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's going for them. Like Timus does nothing apart from sit on ammo mod. And it's just really, really strange because he's absolutely god awful, and I've never sort of understood why. Occasionally,
you do see it shine through, though. He just makes a play that you knew that he'd practiced 1,000 times over in a very circular.
No, you just hit a nutty shot, and then that'll be it. And you'll be like, "Yeah, my ammo mod's paid off. I'm quitting now. I'm gonna pop that on YouTube." Mr. Epic's pretty like beastie as well, DM wise. Unlimited isn't really the best demo man, but again, I guess there's DMs there. Like this is literally just going to be 6 atomics versus 1 atomic.
Right. Yeah. Dima, as a man, I want to talk about. Aside from his very controversial interviews, and very entertaining interviews, he's swapped the roles around quite a bit. I think at one point he was playing medic, then he moved to pocket role, I think. And now he's on Scout, so a few people have described him as the Russian Banny, or at least he thinks he's the Russian Banny, is what they say. I've seen that mentioned a few times. Both teams are actually on the server now, so I'd imagine they are going to be starting fairly shortly, so I will try and finish up my point. But, I mean, do you keep up at all with the Bags of Five scene? Are you a big fan? Do you follow them on Twitter?
I can't say I do, no.
Okay, so you don't really know much about this Dima fellow?
No, I don't.
Other than you can expect him in the interview after.
Even if they lose?
Even if they lose, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, is he a rowdy character?
He's a rowdy character, he is.
Oh, I don't think my persona can handle such a nuisance in my life.
I might just stumble out words and water. I'm trying to just drink water and it's just going to get spit everywhere, I don't know, I just can't handle people who are overly aggressive in interviews. It just breaks me down.
I can't handle excitable people at all. That's why
how are you in this mumble with me?
Well, I don't want to. I've got you turned down pretty low.
It just got me barely muted.
Yeah, like I can. what you don't need to understand is that my house it's not really a house, it's more like a shrine to the god of silence.
Right, yeah.
We all walk around our house with slippers, all of us being me, my fiance and my cat. We all have our slippers on at all times, so then there's as little noise as possible. My fiance is not allowed to, we're not allowed to purposefully address each other using noise. It's just by a humble bow. And then that's it. The problem is when you sort of need to eat, quite a few foods are crunchy, so we have to try and grind any crisps that we want into a fine powder, and just sort of like lick it like a sherbet dip dab.
Right, yeah. I'd imagine Doritos are definitely off the table.
As long as you can, we have to sort of like crush them in between.
Yeah.
Like we put them in a Ziploc bag, get some pillows, and sort of crush them.
Right.
So then you can sort of like consume them with as little noise as possible.
What happens when you have to like dry your hands in the toilets? With like in a public setting, I'm thinking, because the hairdresser at my work is the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't go out the house without my earmuffs.
So you always got them on 24/7.
My noise cancelling ones, the ones that eSports players wear.
Right, I understand. Let's get back on topic rather than talking about your silence shrine or whatever we were talking about. But
my home.
Your home. This game, as it stands, I don't really like to say which team do you think is going to win because it's a bit bland. I'd rather say, how do you think these teams are going to win? Like on both sides of the coin. So how do you think Crowns could potentially win quickly because they are going to start apparently in 90 seconds time. So
90 seconds. You think 90 I can't seconds. Get out my prediction in 90 seconds. I'm so offended by that, but that's just not a point. Talk. We've got 90 seconds. Got 90 that's like seconds. What, a minute and something. That's like talking, plenty of time. Just you have no analyze. Concept of time, but I think. You know what? I'm going to say Crowns is going to win Viaduct. I'm going to have to wait to see what the performance is like on this map before I predict a Reckoner, though. Atomic's going to go insane in the membrane.
Okay. You're predicting Atomic to go huge? That's fair enough.
That's it. Everybody else is going to be mediocre at best.
Well, okay. Very strong words. Very strong words. And I believe the countdown will be starting any time now, maybe.
We clearly don't know what 90 seconds is, so maybe not.
I'm just estimating at the back of my mind, to be honest. I'm just hoping it ticks down because I was hoping that you'd say a little bit more.
Well, I was, when you were hurrying, you were trying to hurry.
Yeah, because I thought you were gonna, be a dickhead about it, just like starting to drag on about your cat and.
But it would have been done perfectly.
Well, here we go. The countdown has finally begun. 3, 2, 1 as the announcer calls it down. Both these teams going to begin to roll out. First map going to be product between Crowns and Bags of 5, and we are expecting some DM heavy, pretty scrappy, good old-fashioned Team Fortress 2 action, as Sano is the one that's going to be trying to get off those stickies onto Crowns. They're really just falling a bit short now, exchanging the spam, and they're going to be trying to create that opening. And Ams has already fallen into absolutely no health at all. He's going to get arrowed up, so he is back on 100. In fact, 2 hours for that man, going to be keeping him very healthy, and this could prompt the aggression from either side now as Ams is once again taking out the fight. He's having to basically take all these arrows. The big bomb forward coming out by Thaigrr as he's trying to make some plays happen. 2 frags, 3 frags already. They've managed to pick up everyone. Mad Mac falling in the process of that, so that's no heals, but it's 3 down on both these teams. And now, Bags of 5, they're striking back. What a pipe by Sada as he just eclipses him through that main area, and now they're having to back out. Ondkaja does have Uber, however, War. So they are going to be able to repush with Uber.
I don't know what Bags were doing, because they had a really good win. As you said, Ams was weak on the nipple, as I like to call it. I'm such an arousal man. But I don't know why they just didn't go aggressive. They had like really, really good position. They had pretty much dominant position all over the point, but I'm just too scared. But they got 10 seconds. Crowns are going to take this back. And I expect Bags to try and go in on limit, to try and suicide for the Uber block.
Oh my goodness.
Never mind.
So they're actually getting lots and lots of frags, and was that a drop from Ondkaja? Jeez, Lord Almighty.
Never mind.
Stickies of all things, like just when you think Crowns, they've pulled it, they pulled it out. They're going to be able to recap. Here comes Atomic. How is has he got those shots off? How has he not been brought down? Finally, the pan comes out by Mr. Epic, but to hit those shots under that pressure.
Yeah,
Finally.
that was pretty poor, especially as your sniper with a pan had to finish the job and not your 2 scouts that was firing one.
But here we go, Crowns are going to be losing that aggression, using that bit of space they created by taking down Mad Mac, and they do have a slight uber advantage that they can work off, so the point is going to be capped up now. They're just going to play off their heels and hopefully play around their uber. Thaigrr goes in, getting aggressive, trying to basically push them back a little bit. He has decided he's a little bit too far forward, so it's going to be getting all the way back for him. Mr. Epic just slowly trying to peek it. Ams is actually right hot on his tail, and he shot himself in the face, and he's going to get brought down by Timus. But still, it's a stalwart defence being held as it stands by Crowns. And here comes the aggression now by GSER. A lot of stickies by Smearies. He's actually managed to finish up one. Beautiful pipe onto Sano as well. So they're all very weak. And here comes the Uber. Finally getting popped off. That's exactly what GSER's want. And now if Mad Mac can get out, Mr. Epic, what a lovely headshot there onto Piers. Not much else coming out of it. Mad Mac is going to escape. He's hitting headshot after headshot, this guy. It's unbelievable stuff. I knew he was a pretty good sniper, but I didn't realise the legends were true. And
some would say he's an epic sniper.
Dear.
Yeah.
It's headshot after headshot. Ams is going to be falling. Here comes Smee. He needs to try and force out Mad Mac. Can he do it? He's finally going to get brought down. It's actually Sano, of all people, who's going to be finishing him up with the pill. And there we go. Thaigrr getting a bit of information for his team as he jumps around the corner. Bit of spam coming out by both of them. But really...
this is getting really... It was quite messy from Crowns at the start. Especially Am sort of like trying to go in. But Bagsers as well seem to be very... They're giving them way too much respect, I feel. Oh, see your Ams. Oh my goodness.
Mr. Epic picks up the 2k. Uber going to be popped out finally by GSER. Atomic still behind all the enemies, I should say, before I just swallow my own throat. And he's actually going to pick up the quick 2k onto dima. So that's going to be one frag for them to potentially work off if they can.
But they need to do like something. I mean, I guess it was just a force, so it doesn't really matter so much. But well, here we are. This is a collapse.
This is a collapse indeed. Uber going to be popped, but Crowns have already dropped 3 players in the process. Point is going to get capped off now, but GSER, they can play off this perfectly. Ams has gone for the forward jump, but he's actually...
wow.
Oh, Mr. Epic, please. They have families. They need to go to land. They need to prove themselves, and you're just crushing their dreams in front of them, and they haven't even capped from it as well. GSER still holding down the point. Not even capped as well. It's almost capped, but not quite. And Crowns they're desperate for this now. They're pressing this all the way forward. Ams are going to be jumping in, trying to get some spam. Here comes Thaigrr, getting off that aggression, but GSER's positioning is absolutely perfect. Look at the kite, and on the back lines, and Limited has jumped in, but it's actually Crowns who are looking like they're coming out the better contenders for this. Ams is going to get arrowed up. They still need to focus down Mr. Epic, really, if they want any chance of saving this. He is taking a little bit of spam, but here comes the Uber now. Going to be popped out by GSER. If they can take down any of these players, it's going to be a pretty good job. Atomic is still behind them, actually, causing a little bit of chaos and a little bit of distraction. And it's really quite a scrappy fight all over the place. He does finally go down. Sano hitting him with a quick little pipe. He's been hitting quite a lot of those. But
Atomic's been behind for 90% of this game so far. He probably hasn't, but he's just always behind.
This is it's pretty insane. And here we go. Uber going to be popped off by Crowns, but are they even going to be able to get anything from it? Ams, he pushed very far into enemy territory and basically just paid with his life. They still have they do have control of the point, and GSER, they're actually just absolutely crushing them. Look at all these picks they've got. 5 down already. Atomic, the only one up. It's one man against this world. All the DM in the world cannot save you in that situation, as he just gets completely crushed by the scouts. And 50 seconds remaining. No Uber on the side of Crowns War. How are they possibly even going to do this?
Like, well, you say that, but they're leading with time in a situation where it doesn't feel like they should be leading in time at all, because they have been getting stomped in the fight. So I've just been so allured by Mr. Epic, I've not been paying attention so much.
Well, here we are. Uber going to be popped finally out. There we go. Sano with the big 2k. Can they bring down Ondkaja as well? Who knows? They're chasing him very deep. He's just trying to dodge and juke. He's doing a bloody good job of it, but finally he's going to go down. And here comes the counter-aggression by Crowns. The big jump forward by Atomic and Ams in the back lines. And it's actually the double kill for Ams. 1 rocket, 2 men. That's all he needs. Atomic finishes up Timus as well. Unlimited's going to be jumping in now, trying to basically defend this point. But Crowns, they've got the man advantage. Can they make anything happen? It doesn't look like it. As Crowns, they get one last defense in. And potentially the round if GSER don't pull up their bootstraps a little bit here. We do see Mr. Epic. He's still on sniper, as you'd expect. Just trying to create an opening.
Timus literally just left his team high and dry there. Like when they Ubered, he just carried on chasing after getting the medic and just left both Sano and Mad Mac out in the open, which is kind of really, really poor.
But this is it, right down to the wire now, and Limited's going to be trying to make some plays. Everyone on the side of Crowns is very weak. 2 frags already for BaGZER, make it 3. Mr. Epic with a body shot, it's just Smear, and Pira's trying to do their darndest. Pira's 1 man against the world, can he do it? He's not going to be able to, it's a complete wipe. 2-1 on the clock, I should say, not the cock, this is a family show. And there we go, 1-0 to the side of BaGZER 5.
I'm going to wash my ears out after hearing that, that's great.
Family show, guys, family show.
Wow. We've seen, I think, like, Atomic will probably go sniper at some point. I'd imagine so. They need to... The thing is, they're not really even pressuring Mr. Epic that much anyway. They're jumping Soldier forwards, but they're not actually going on him, so yeah. It's just wasted, but he's hitting a lot less shots anyway, so it depends on what's going to happen.
Look at this damage coming out. The aggression by Crowns getting instantly punished. Atomic, the only survivor in that engagement, and he's going to go down as well. So that is everyone dead on Crowns. Point going to get capped up by BaGZER, and they are absolutely crushing. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
The thing is, Mr. Epic didn't even have like a threatening position then. He was on cliff, so it's not like he had a huge open angle to sort of like go for. So if you can't see the sniper and he's not like aggressive on China, there isn't a reason for Crowns to go forward like that. Like, they're really just sort of now, with the Uber percentage that they're going to have on them, just go forward togetger now. I don't like how Kaya is so close in. They're getting some frags, which is good.
They're doing it. They're actually doing pretty well from it. I mean, Mad Mac, he could have popped Uber there and potentially saved the point, but probably not worth it, as they dropped 2 players in very quick succession. Mr. Epic was a bit too far forward on that point, and now the fast respawn's going to be coming out for the BaGZER boys. They're going to have that Uber to work off as well. But so do Crowns, actually. Ondkaja is not far off, about 10%. Very passive hold. They know they're probably going to go for the Force, potentially. But, I mean, if it's equal Uber, you just want to try and take the fire, I suppose.
Yeah, it will be... I think previously, from last season, Crowns really sort of suffered on this map. So it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of...
Here we go. Look at Unlimited. Gets off 1 rocket. Ondkaja is actually going to be forced now in the process. And now they need to try and get some frags if they can. And BaGZER! There's a drop. Mad Mac falling in the process. I don't know who he dropped to in the end, but the absolute collapse by Crowns paying off to its fullest. They did not protect their medic in the slightest.
That was actually really good. The Uber was a little bit early, but you can see that everybody literally just jumped over together. It was either really lucky or actually well practiced, because that's pretty much why he dropped, because of how much like he got completely like all the aggression on him at once. Mr. Epic's scout.
He's actually switched off to his off class. I like it. And there we go. BaGZER are going to be trying to cap this up if they can. Unlimited, a bit far forward, he's going to be forced all the way back. Ams is going to be taking that high ground now, dropping dima, I should say. Oh, look at Pires! How is he doing this? He just jumped onto them and he's like a rabid dog. Is he going to get Sano as well? What the hell? Can he pick up... I don't know way is he going to be able to pick up Dima. Dima's on 26 HP. He needs to back off. He's walking into walls. Can he get away? He's going to finally... Is he going to get away with his life? He is. But Pires just went absolutely ham. What is he made of?
Ham.
He's back on Piers rather than Pires, apparently.
Oh, yeah. That's a fun fact, actually. Piers actually called himself that because he's a huge James Bond fan, and Pierce Brosnan is his favourite.
His favourite James Bond main actor. But BaGZER now, that's got to hurt your momentum a little bit already. Look at this frags coming out, and Limited's going to fall as well. Piers is just absolutely destroying. Can he take this 1v1 against Dima as well? He's going to try and pistol him down. Dima's movement's quite good, but no, it's not enough. Piers on an absolute killing spree now. Timus wants a piece of the action. Is he going to be able to do it? He finally goes down with the help of Sano, but they've dropped so many players because of that flank play, and good God, he is destroying that man.
He's really playing well. I mean, he's doing what I expected Atomic to do, but Mr. Epic's back on sniper now, so they do get the Uber early. Mad Mac doesn't have it yet, and is he in spawn? No, he's actually getting caught out, and he can almost take a huge rocket. This isn't really so successful for them. That Uber was pretty bad, to be honest.
It was, yeah, and I mean, they haven't really got much out of it. Mr. Epic's down, so they don't have that sniper sightline they've been relying on so much, but here we go. We're going to be popped off by BaGZER. They're going to try and create these frags, and if they possibly can, it's going to be absolutely beautiful, but Thaigrr is going to be finishing up Dima in the end, and there are a lot of players down. Crown's actually kiting that to absolute perfection. Look at all these frags that they're getting. So many peers just absolutely destroying. He picks up the 3k, finishing up Mad Mac. Mr. Epic's going to try his darndest, but in the end...
It must have been a 4k from Pierce Brosnan.
He's destroying. He's actually destroying. It's unbelievable. I thought...
That last round...
13 kills that one round. 2,400 damage in 4 minutes, according to Mr. David. That's a number that most people aren't going to know the significance of, but that's 500 damage per minute. That's unbelievable. That's actually ridiculous, now that I think about it.
I'm aroused with that number. I'll put it that way.
Here we are, Mr. Epic, going to be trying to make some plays and actually getting off the better hand of this. But are they? Oh, no, I don't think it is. It's switching back and forth very rapidly. A lot of damage coming out by both these teams. Dima going to be trying to chase down Ondkaja now, but he might not grab him. In fact, yeah, Ondkaja has gotten out. At the same time, Piers is absolutely destroying with the help of Atomic. He is finally going to go down. Atomic going to be losing the 1v1 against Timus with the help of his good friend Dima. But still, the Crowns, the counter-attack is now on as they're already looking to retake this point. Warner pushing deep.
Yeah, Kai did really well to just get out of that situation as well. Realised that his team had messed up hard. Perez getting some, like, 2 more frags as well at the end of that round. So again, he's really sort of saving them, to be honest, because some of their... Never mind. Just gone and done an Atomic.
Right, yeah, well, this is it. This is where BaGZER can have some room to grow. Uber going to be popped out by Crowns as they're looking to create some plays, and create them they will. Spear going to be finishing up that frag onto Dima, but here comes the counter-attack. BaGZER, they're looking to try and take this if they possibly can. Timus has actually been caught completely out of position, and then Kai is the one who's going to be picking up this frag, and from the back lines, the soldiers that's absolutely destroying Mad Mac far too far forward. Going to be falling to Atomic.
See, this is actually good. They're playing... Crowns are actually playing how... You know, they can. Like, that was actually... Their Uber at the start was pretty poor. And they pretty much had bunched everybody at BaGZER's 5 to the left side. And instead of actually just sort of rushing it and players overextending, they sort of slowed it down a bit and then they went in together, which was really good. Because I'm pretty sure that Crowns have sort of made these mistakes before. Yeah, that's one of those mistakes.
I don't know what he was attempting to do there. Maybe he got caught out of position by trying to peek. Who knows? Maybe he was forced into that position. But here's Piers. He's going to be trying to create some pressure. Mr. Epic slowly but surely creeping up that corner. Going to be seeing if he can get any frags. He's actually rotated around now. So we're going to see him just trying to basically crack open this defence that Crowns are starting to build up. And it's actually Dima is going to be eating a lot of spam chip shots. Uber going to be popped out now as actually Ondkaja. It's a fat body shot from Mr. Epic, and that's going to prompt the push. But BaGZER, they're in a very good positioning actually from them to kite that, and now they can look to repush once they've got this Uber 5% away now. If they can get one more frag as well, that's the icing on the cake, but it's actually Unlimited is going to be falling, but that's not going to prompt the that's not going to stave off the push, I should say, at all. Here we go, going to be popped off, need to pick off any frags they possibly can, but it's actually AMS and Atomic behind enemy lines bringing everyone back, and they haven't got anything from this whatsoever, and now they can look to crush, and crush they most certainly will. Pierre's going to be chasing deep. Atomic gets 2 fat meat shots onto Mad Mac, bringing him straight down. A lot of damage already. BaGZER's in a very sticky situation on that left-hand side. Sano might actually fall. Atomic is just fragging left, right, centre. He's an absolute freak, this madman. What is he made of? And they're still in control of the point war.
There was... I'm not quite sure how, because Crown's original Uber was absolutely poor. I mean, they get popped just because Thaigrr took a headshot. They sort of Uber in. Thaigrr, like, jumps forward, launches a rocket, and then backs out. And I just don't know how... I mean, the Ubers are poor, but outside of the Ubers, for once, their players are, you know, coordinated and are going well. Yeah. Mainly because of Piers and Atomic, if I'm honest.
Still causing havoc. He's spamming them from behind. They haven't spotted him yet. Thaigrr with the jump in as well. Can they get anything? Is yet to be seen. They've actually dropped a lot of plays. It's Timus who's the one to pick up 2 of those frags in the end. And now, finally, we might see BaGZER potentially retake this, or are they? As Crowns, they're rolling deep with this Uber. They've already picked up 2. Make it 3. Atomic and Piers just absolutely destroying the dynamic duo of Scouts, just absolutely tearing them to pieces. Look at this damage. Jesus, Lord Almighty. And they've capped it up. They make it 2-1 in the end. What power coming out by that Scout combination, honestly.
Yeah, that was... They are literally just getting completely pounded. They're getting spit roasted by Piers and Atomic at the moment. You know, everybody on BaGZER is just lined up to just get completely spit roasted by those two. It's absolutely filthy.
I wouldn't be surprised to see 400 damage per minute on potentially one of these scouts, but look at this aggression by Ams! Straight onto Mad Mac! He suicides at the end, but that's no medic for them, no heals. Here comes the aggression, all this damage straight on them, and BaGZER, they've fallen to pieces, but and Ondkaja, he's being chased down, he's trying to take this 1v1 against Dima. Dima's missing his shots, but he's finally going to bring him down. That's at least one saving grace for him. Finally, Dima picking up that medic frag, so that's going to be no Uber to potentially defend this off, but Crown's absolutely crushed then.
Yeah, but I mean,
God.
they kind of did leave Kaya alone, which really shouldn't happen, because now they've got no advantage like they could have, but it depends. If they hold this, then it won't really matter so much, but if they don't, they'll be, well, if I was Kaya, I'd be pretty pissed.
Well, this is it. Am's going in for that forward bomb straight away. Dima and Timus actually going to be the one finishing him up straight away. And look at that pipe by Sano, just basically coming straight over. Great curve. And Kaya going to be falling to Mr. Epic as well, of all people. And can they still potentially defend this? His peers against the world. He's trying to take that 1v1. He's actually got it. 29 HP. He's going to be able to pick up the health back and potentially go in for more frags. And it's Sano. He's across the other side of the map, and he's actually been forced all the way back from that play.
Piers is also winning 6k as well.
He's fragging.
Yeah,
he's fragging.
These scouts are, they're certainly disconnecting enemies from the server, that's for sure.
Well, here we are, trying to spam each other out. Is this a pause? I believe it's a quick unpause. If it was a pause, I think I might have just been lagging for a second then, but there we go. First frag coming out. Mr. Epic going to be picking up Ams. Piers, Piers, trying to finish up a lot of players on the side, but he's actually going to get brought down as well. So actually a two-man disadvantage from both these teams, but it's actually Smear with a beautiful little pipe going to be connecting straight onto Dima, finishing him up, and still BaGZER are no way near capping up this point. The aggression is coming out from them, and they're forcing Crowns all the way back. Smear's doing his darndest to try and keep them off. Thaigrr with the back plays, trying to basically bomb them in. But it's not going to pay off at all. Oh, he's hitting some fat pipes off, I'm telling you now. Look at his denial, hit off a fat 100. Piers on the back lines is going to be destroying Ultimate as well. And this is such a scrappy fight. BaGZER, all they want to do is try and recap this. They've finally done it, but now they've got the forwards, they've got the quicker spawns. Here comes the Uber by Crowns, going to try to make these plays, and make them they will. Mad Mac probably going to fall here, indeed he does. Is that Sams is going to be finishing him up with the rocket. Sano going to be getting very, very cocky. They're trying to basically spam them out, but it's not going to happen. Atomicism gives him the quick 1-2 and destroys him in the end. And now, honestly, this is a complete 180 from what we saw from the first round. I'm quite happy that Crowns have turned it around this way, because we were expecting them to be the stronger team. So it would have been a bit disappointing, maybe not for the viewers at home, but for some of the more TF2 enthusiasts to see them losing. So it's good to see them on top.
I think it was just maybe scared of an upset and a standard, public clear collapse that they normally sort of suffer from, but it's just the name change, must be.
Just brings out the best in them.
Yeah, it's the avatar, it's a lion. They've got, the heart of a lion now, filled with courage.
Exactly, yeah, the complete changeover, just turn them into a different team. And here we go, BaGZER, they've got a lot of cap time. Smear actually going in for the force on Mad Mac. Can he hit that last pipe? He's not going to be able to do it, but he has brought him down to absolutely no health. 87 HP on that man. So it's a beautiful little suicide attempt for them, but now at this point, Ondkaja, he has the Uber, and they're going to be looking to play off it, slowly but surely, pushing up that cliffside wall.
The only thing I'm sort of really... I don't like calling people out, but Ams is playing terribly.
Right, okay.
He really, really is. I like.
Well, he's going to try and prove you wrong. He hits a cutesy little air shot there onto Mr. Epic just by jumping straight onto his face. The frag's coming out in full force. Thaigrr with a beautiful little surf onto that upper area. Dima just trying to focus him down, but he hasn't even been alerted to the presence that Atomic is just pounding him down from the side. Going to be picking up one frag there as Timus actually gets the counter frag onto Thaigrr, but is it really enough? Mad Mac has been completely separated. Unlimited's going to jump to his savior, I should say. But look at this damage. Unlimited getting absolutely destroyed, and Atomic comes out on top in that engagement. It was a bit tricky for him, I guess, for a soldier to be taking that engagement on the cliffside, but finally the revenge frag by Mr. Epic to finish him up.
But yeah, Ams has just been like overextending and dying, and then like that's it. Sometimes it's fine if you actually sort of get a trade out from it, but it's not been every time. He just seemed to sort of leave his team with one less player for what seems like no reason. And there's many other times as well when they're actually sort of going in aggressive and he's just sort of hanging back. So yeah, it's even though they're winning, they're not playing so well, but they can just block this and win.
Here we go, we're going to be popped off now. They've actually dropped AMS in the process, so it's really pretty much all onto Atomic. Can he get these frags? Dima's trying to dodge and juke him. Can he do it? It's actually going to be dropping in the end. Dima just surviving in that end, but it's overtime. The point's been capped down. They need to walk on it, and here they go, finally. Crowns are 4 players down. The cap is going to go in the side of GSER, but honestly, you've got to defend this for 1 minute 40 now. You've got the Uber to work off, I guess. That's pretty good, but Lord Almighty, this is going to be tough for them.
See what I mean though from AMS, like that he literally just starts walking in way ahead of everybody, and against a better team, like these mistakes will just be
Smear.
Completely
They're trying to
destroyed.
force out the Uber, yeah. They're trying to get the suicide. Can they do it? Oh my goodness, Piers! The absolute force of nature. How does he hit those shots? I don't understand, but he brought him down.
He's a tornado.
An absolute tornado. That's an appropriate word for him, definitely, because he's been absolutely wrecking them this game, destroying everything in his path. And here we go. Ondkaja's going to have 90% unlimited. Going to try and bring him down. Not quite. Ondkaja just escapes with 40 health on that man. An absolute sliver of HP, you might say. But now, here we go. Uber going to be popped in pretty early. Going to be trying to avoid the sticky traps, and they just need to recap this point, and they've got it. Dima going to be forced down straight. It was that one player down for them. AMS on the back line is going to be trying to create some havoc, and here we go. The cap is just about to come out, and there we go, finally. 3-1 makes the scoreline. Crown's going to be taking this first map, as we kind of predicted.
Yeah, it's a lot more. They played it a lot better than what I expected to. I was very, very sort of worried for them, mainly because like previous times I haven't been sort of so solid. There have been quite a few mistakes though. AMS has just been, as I mentioned previously, quite poor. The mistakes that he's sort of been making is what will be costing his teams like the rounds in the future, and it's something that you just can't do if you're wanting to be a top Prem team, because that last Uber push, when he just sort of, actually sorry, the one before last, where he just sort of was way ahead of everybody and just died. Like, it's just, yeah.
Are you ready to receive the logs by any chance?
Oh, mate.
The juicy logs. Have you got the windows open?
I have got the windows open.
Rightio, David, you've received the cue. You can successfully load the logs, and here we are. They should be on the screen, as you can see. Straight up, what do you want to sort it by, War?
Go by frags.
Let's go, big frags. Lovely plays already. You can look at Timus with 36 frags. We didn't really talk about him that much, to be honest, if at all. Really, we were kind of treating it as the Piers show and the Atomic show, but he did have a fat game. Look at that, almost a 40k dropping in that game.
Yeah, but he did lose. So
he did lose. That's unfortunate, but clearly he's not. I mean, would you still call him the DM donkey that he is?
Definitely, this more solidifies his status as the DM donkey, because I think it's just more of a case of I don't know, he seemed to bait everybody on his team a lot more, which is sort of, I don't know, I guess what DM donkeys kind of do, whereas P-Rez just sort of went in like them head on when they had like buffs.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, we saw a few times where he just baited to it. That's basically the definition of what he did. He baited. Compared to Dima, yeah. If we want to compare Dima on Scout, he was doing well with the assists, but the frags definitely not there, and the deaths as well by him. 21 deaths, not great.
Yeah, those are certainly deaths, that's for sure, and quite a few of them. But someone's got to be sort of like on the receiving end, unlimited as well with 24 deaths. It's nothing sort of too out of it. But yeah, I guess overall, the sort of scoreboard sort of says how I expect it to be. I guess. I'm gonna look at the medic stats. If I press the button, does it change for everybody?
Yeah, it's changed.
Whoa, I feel like I'm in control.
We're living in the future.
Oh, everything's at my whim. I'm so excited. Well, there's nothing really. I guess, again, medic stats really show about what you expect from the game. AM's receiving pretty much quite a few heals, but I kind of felt like Thaigrr was more the pocket, just because AM seemed to be dead pretty much all the time anyway. The heal spread is a lot better on Crowns as well. Everything seems to be a lot more even across the board, where everything on Bags is pretty much demo orientated, with the rest just sort of trying to get the scraps as to what's left.
Yeah.
I want to look at the map percentages.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. Oh,
wait,
you're skipping to all sorts of different things. What's going on? What have you done? You've broken it by switching too fast.
No, it's because I didn't press hide log, isn't it? Oh, I'm so scared. Oh no, I've broken it.
You've broken it.
Oh, I can see it on stream. I'm playing it back. Oh, I'm just gonna hack into it and change it. Hold on, let me hack it. There we go. I'm just hacking it.
Is it working?
Oh, you'll find out soon. Nope.
Do you make a personal bet to see how many haha emotes you can get in the chat in one game?
No, I don't. I don't read the chat because I get bullied quite a bit.
The chat actually encourages me a lot. I love the chat. When I see the PogChamps rising up, it just makes me even more excited. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make me excited because I don't get those. I just get people sort of giving me the resident sleepers, the fail, the fail fishers.
But that's where you excel. You excel in that slow, analytical.
I don't want to bore people, Bren.
You don't bore people. You're actually very happy, good.
But I can't because my voice is so flat. I was born like this. I've had the same voice since I was born. Do you know what it was like being a 5-year-old with this voice?
I imagine pretty scary, to be honest.
Can you imagine me at Christmas when my parents get me something and I'm like, oh, brilliant, this is amazing, thanks. I'm like, well, but don't you like it? But I really do.
Well,
constantly sarcastic as well. I don't know if I'm being sarcastic now.
Who knows? You could have some very underlying sarcasm problems, but we are gonna let's focus on this game. Reckoner is the map of choice. I don't know if the logs are working. Maybe we'll get them at a later date. Okay, the logs are just dead. All right, we'll drop that for now. Maybe next game. I think they should work next game anyway. But Reckoner as a map, we've seen it. We've seen played a few times. War, stop touching the buttons, please.
Wasn't.
Alright.
Just hacking it.
That's enough out of you.
Sorry.
But Reckoner as a map is new. It's new. A lot of players, a lot of teams. Pretty play it in simple ways, they either commit to one side or the other, or maybe even straight under, who knows. But it's it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I certainly like playing it. It's a fun map.
Yeah, I like playing it. I like the aesthetics as well.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Season.
Yeah.
Ah, Jinx, we think alike, Bren. Let's be friends. I need one. But I think, based on the performance on Viaduct, I think Crowns will possibly stomp this. Just because Viaduct can be a very, very hard to control map when you're playing against a DM heavy team like Bagsers. That's pretty much all they've got going for them. Now you're going back to classic 5CP on a newish map as well. You kind of really have to have quite a bit of discipline, and Bagsers seem like they have none of that. Mm-hmm. Crowns sometimes don't have any of that, but hopefully if they can just sort of carry on the momentum of Viaduct, they should be completely fine.
Yeah, it's very good points to make. When Bagser was scrimming, they're playing against Happy Farmers, I think I mentioned, and I did say that they got absolutely smashed into the ground, which they did. I think they lost 5-1 in the end, so it wasn't a pretty defeat by any means, but we'll see if that is going to potentially be recreated, or if in the last few minutes before this game, they've worked out whatever errors they were coming across in their game plan. So who knows? Maybe they can adjust in the final few moments. I'm not too confident that they will be able to. That's my personal opinion. I think Crowns, as you mentioned, will probably take this pretty convincingly. I can't imagine there are going to be too many upsets. I'll be happy to be proven wrong. But here we are, the countdown.
P-Res and Atomic were just too insane last map, so if they play how they did on this map, last map on this map, then yeah, it's an easy win, I feel. Alright,
well, here we are. Both teams going to start rolling out now. Map number 2, Reckoner is the one being played between Crowns and BagSER 5. If you're just joining us now, it was actually Crowns who took the first map 3-1 on product, and here we are, spam being exchanged straight away. Dima just kind of walking across the wall there, trying to basically, he's being absolutely crushed there by Smear, and look at this aggression now, big jump forward, here we go, one rocket, can he pay up the second one to Ams? Ams actually killed himself in the process, Unlimited falling in the process however, but still, look at this frags coming out now by Crowns, 3 already down, make it 4 as they picked up Mad Mac, can they bring down Sano as well? That is yet to be seen. Smear's in a very sticky situation, he's actually going to go down in that underside, but the aggression is there by Thaigrr, as he's brought him straight down to his level, and already this is going to be an instant mid-cap by the side of Crowns. And Ondkaja, the important thing is he stayed alive.
Yeah, that was pretty good. They actually sort of had forceful direction as to where they wanted to go on mid. Only thing maybe is that the soldier aggression could have been better, because Thaigrr just ended up being there by himself. Ams killed himself, which does sort of put a little bit too much pressure on one player, but I'd like to see him just sort of go straight into last before BagSER 5 can even sort of get a comfortable setup, because that seemed to be sort of like the telling sign, and yeah, they're going to have a level 3 sentry anyway, so that time has passed. But
yeah, well, it looks like they're going to be pushing slowly but surely. They're just getting a feel for it, and there we go. Uber going to be popped in straight away. They actually have spotted the centre in the end. Ams is going to be trying to get that frag. He does manage to pick up on Sano, so that's no demo man for them. A significant lack of damage on the side of BagSER, but I don't think they're even going to look to play this. The sentry is finally going to go down. Smear picks up a nice little pipe onto Timus, Unlimited with the counter frag onto him. And Unlimited with the big 2k as well. This man is actually going a little bit huge. It's Crowns. It's Ams, I should say, on the point. Can he take this? Mr. Epic doing his darndest. Ams is being held up. Sano with the back up. There we go. Finally. Uber going to be popped off by BagSER. And now it's a very, very bad situation for Crowns. They need to back all the way out. They're not going to be able to do it. They pretty much all fell in the midst of that. Smear only just respawning, and he can only really just set up this sticky trap onto second.
It's a bit weird as to why. I mean, they did go slow, which is fine, because sometimes teams get way over the head, rush the whole thing, and just get collapsed upon. But after taking out the sentry, I feel like they should have just played them to the point to try and just, just be mindful of it. And because they never did that, they just had Uber in time to block it, and they were just reduced to just, 3 players. Because if they had capped time on it before, when Ams was standing on the point at the end, he would have probably capped it, and that would mean that. But I think it's just sort of teams have to be a little bit, I don't know, it seems like they don't realise how quick it caps. It's really, really fast. So just put one player on it, please. It really does sort of just make your life a lot easier.
Essentially going to do a lot of work in denying them though, off that point, but here we go. BagSER going to be basically trying to play this to any way they can. Uber going to be popped out as well. It's actually Piers. That's a big frag for them. High impact kills straight up. Going to be bringing down Atomic as well. And now Crowns are in a bit of a dangerous situation here in this big lobby area. Going to be pushing with the Uber, actually. This is very interesting. 1 fat air shot, 2 rockets. Can he bring down Sano? I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He's been forced to back off. Going to be getting flashed now. Dima going to be trying to make something happen. Unlimited on the back lines. Can he hit this off? He hits off 1 rocket into Smear. Eventually going to be falling to in the end. But BagSER absolutely destroying Piers. The massive man he is. Can't do it against the entirety of BagSER. And he is going to fall in the end. And Atomic, he knows better than to run into 5 enemy gamers. And he's going to be backing all the way off to second. But BagSER. That's pretty impressive.
I don't think it's impressive for them more of how terrible that push was from Crowns. They just lost 2 scouts. I understand the purpose of trying to keep hold of mid, but you're just pushing into a situation that's not going to be advantageous for you at all, because they can just kite the Uber. You're essentially just sort of Ubering 3 heavies, 2 of which have probably good maneuverability. And yeah, it just completely fell, and by the time the scouts were there, it was too late.
Well, Uber now coming out by BagSER. Can they bring down Smear? That's the question. He is going to go down. They need to focus down his sentry now. They've got the frags. Can they work off it? That's the question. They've already put Dima on it, and they're actually doing what Crowns could not, playing the point to perfection. Can they do it with a sentry gun? Is absolutely crushing them. They've already lost so many players now. Crowns only 2 players up, however, but the sentry is just absolutely destroying. Finally, Thaigrr's going to try and take the fight to Dima. It's going to be hitting 1 rocket, but it's not going to be able to manage to hit up the second one. And a bit of a beef push there by BagSER, but God, what a sentry!
They did better than Crowns. They got more time in the point, so it's not so bad. Maybe this is going to be the story of the map. We're now going to go straight to BagSER's last, and it's going to be the same thing again.
Oh, Unlimited gets the force out onto Ondkaja. That's pretty pretty big, actually. And now Crowns are looking to push out, but Mad Mac is the one who's going to be having that Uber now, holding very close, and Crowns could be completely crushed here if they play this incorrectly, and they're rightfully so choosing to back all the way off. Atomic is going to peek it slightly, going to eat a sticky in the process, but yeah, now, you know, BagSer, they're in a very strong position. They're going to wait for the respawns to come up, wait for these heals, and now it looks like they want to make their move.
I think the problem with this map as well, why maybe some teams don't like it, is that holding second seems to be pretty much impossible with an Uber disadvantage. You can see everybody on Crowns, they're literally just trying to leave. Like, Thaigrr just does a trade, which is good. AMS is trying to get more trades at the bottom, so they've just completely taken what I've said.
This has gone so well. Oh my goodness, Crowns are destroying! Uber's been pogged, but it's just two of them! They can't do anything against this, surely! 2 men against the world. Mr. Epic knows he has to back out, but look at this! Mr. AMS is on the back lines, getting off that damage! Can they do it? They cannot escape from the might of Crowns, as they've absolutely destroyed them. AMS with the skill stick. They have no escape plan, as David has just whispered these puns into my ears. I wish I was that quick on the mind to think of those on the fly, but my god, Crowns, what a play, straight into their trap.
Yeah, I got ruined by that. Never mind. Seconds, I think one of the reasons why teams struggle on this map is because second's really easy to push with. Or defend.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sano. Look how weak he is. He needs to back. He almost died there. Timus is in the forward spawn, so he could potentially make some play. No, he's having to back all the way off. He knows it's a bit of a silly idea to remain around there. But Central Gun is going to be built by BagSer now, and it's all up to Crowns to really try not to beef this too much. They have 100% Uber. They can take this any way they like. Wait for information, wait for the plays, wait for the picks, and they're opting to just push all the way in, or are they? They're really pussying about with it. They finally got one frag onto Unlimited, actually, and that's going to be pretty big for them. And now here we go. Uber going to be popped, trying to play that cap time if they potentially can. Timus hiding around the corner. They're not playing the point to it at all, actually. There's hardly any cap time, but they've got the frags, thankfully. 4 down now. It's just Timus to try and do what he potentially can, but it's not going to be enough. And finally, Crowns take it. That was like the first round. 7 minutes.
Mr. Epic bought so much time, so it was close, to be honest. So
yeah.
But it was a good push. Again, they didn't, as you were saying, they weren't really getting much time on the cap, so it was just the frags coming through that time. But they're cutting it thin because Mad Mac almost had Uber, so you know these sort of kind of things are sort of, they just need to be a little bit more paceful with these, and then they'll be completely fine.
Well, I feel like Crowns have really clocked on these mid-fights, but look at this now. Unlimited going in for a very large bomb, trying to basically pick up any frags he possibly can. A lot of damage already. His peers on the back lines, and Atomic, so many frags. They've already picked up 3, make it 4, as Mad Mac is the one to fall, and there's 5. Piers absolutely destroying AMS with the absolute wipe as he finishes them across the board. That's going to be another cap, and Crowns. They are destroying.
They just need to now hopefully I would say just push straight to last. Just try it, just see how, what the momentum's like and how far it carries you. Thaigr's hiding in the lobby. Unlimited is just above him. He has no idea. Is Thaigrr going to make the move? He does!
Oh, here we go. He's finished him up anyway. Yeah, there we go. Sano has finished him up with the pipe in the end, but this is Crowns. They're still looking to push off this with the Uber. Going to be popping straight away. AM's actually opting to try and cut them off at the spawn area, but if they just play the point a little bit, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. The sentry gun is doing a pretty good job of trying to deny them out. It is going to get taken down at the end of the day. Long range artillery spam coming out by AMS, but they still have not played this point. They're just trying to play the frags. Mad Mac most likely going to fall. Indeed he has. Dima is the last hope for Russia as he's trying to play the Putis role. It's not going to work. He's going to get taken down. And is it over? I don't know! Mr. Epic! Oh my goodness, for a second and I thought it was an over. He hit off a beautiful meat shot. But it's all for naught. They do manage to take it in the end. 2-0 is the scoreline so far for Crowns. Off the back of that incredibly dominant mid-fight.
It was a good push. I have no complaints from that pretty much. I mean, again, yeah, it does take a while, but they were able to sort of take out all the players. They didn't. That could have gone horribly wrong, but they all had health, and it was completely fine.
Well, there we go. Look at Thaigrr already jumping straight onto Sano's neck. Going to be trying to basically cut him off at the jugulars if he possibly can. A lot of spam being exchanged. Actually, Crown's coming out worse for wear there in the damage section. Dima might fall there. He's actually got 3 men on him straight away. Big bump forward by Unlimited. Not going to be mounting for anything. Ondkaja is as happy as a chappy. And here we go. This is the aggression by Crowns now. Mad Max actually fallen. Atomic picks up 2. And now it's just Timus left alive. He's trying to escape with his life. Can he do it? He's being jumped. He's not going to get out, surely. He's trying to skill stick Piers down. It's not going to be enough. Piers the one to bring him down in the end. And now, this is exactly the kind of momentum that you were talking about that they needed to play off. This is, they've already capping up their second point. Unlimited's going to try and basically spot them out, see where they're coming from in that lobby area. But now, they're going to basically just be rolling all the way into last with this 100% Uber.
Yeah, that push though, that mid-fight was gorgeous.
Oh, what a nutty air shot by Timus! He's actually completely destroyed Thaigrr. And there we go. Timus is, Dima, I should say, on that heavy roll, trying to basically bring them down. Can they do it? They've already lost 3 players. It's absolutely crucial now that they try and play this correctly, but it's not going to be enough. 3-0. Crown's absolutely destroying.
Yeah, the mid-fight, I was about to say, was like insane. It was gorgeous. They didn't lose anybody. The scouts managed to cross the flank, and then it just went behind, and they both came out in different directions, and it all came in at one time. So it was, if Crowns plays like this, if they play like with those sort of coordinated strats all the time, they will reach the top of Prem that they want to. They just have to nail it down consistently, to be honest.
Well, here we are, mid-fight number 4. Piers is actually the first one to go down, finally. A mid-fight that looks like it's starting to go the way of GSER. Is actually Smear taking a lot of spam, but here we go. The Atomic is actually very far behind them. He's going to be trying to create some plays if they can, but they've dropped a lot of players already. 2 down. Atomic's been spotted as well, so we can't do anything behind them. Smear has managed to get the counter-frag onto Unlimited, and Atomic somehow wins that 1v1 against Mr. Epic, and now they have got nothing to defend them from this onslaught that they're about to receive from Crowns. The spam going to be coming out straight away. They've got no choice but to back out. It was looking so good for GSER. I think that early frag onto Piers just really sealed the not-so-inevitable defeat, as they have backed out with Uber, but it really could have been played a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I guess so. GSER just seemed to get completely rocked any time someone from Crowns goes behind them, because it was Atomic that time that took a 1v1, and I think it was Mr. Epic that he completely shut on. So every time that this thing kind of happens, they just don't really seem to play it well at all. They just don't go forward. They just sit there and let themselves get sandwiched. This isn't a really good Uber from
No, it's not one
Crowns
bit.
at all.
GSER are going to be popping off straight away to counter frags, potentially coming out as Ams is going to be the first one to fall. Atomic takes.
Oh my God.
What in God's name is he made of? How does he come out on top in those situations? He's going to pick up that health pack. He's still behind enemy lines. Mr. Epic is receiving the heals, but is it going to be enough to bring this monster down? He's going to have to back off eventually. His team is there to help him out. Make it 4 as he finishes up Unlimited, and now, my oh my. What an absolute monster. I cannot believe he got away with that.
I've heard he's made out of space rock because he's out of this world.
That was honestly ridiculous. And even though it is a slight advantage, Sano... nice analogy. Sano has picked up the nice little frag there, and actually going to be picking up Piers as well, so that is going to stave off this aggressive push eventually. And so, I mean, they are going to have Uber by the time Crowns wait for their players, wait for the spawners. It's pretty much going to be in their hands if they build this correctly, and they're going to have a sentry as well, so that's going to be pretty nice for GSER to hopefully come back from this if they can at all. But what's this overextension that they're doing? They're just dropping players and they've just given them an opening. Was that a sack attempt for the Uber, or I don't really know. I was watching the sentry gun for no reason, but
not really, because GSER didn't really. I don't know actually. Maybe it was just one of those plays that could have been played off as an attempt for a force, but in reality, he didn't even know what he was doing himself.
Oh, sick building frags by Thaigrr, and now that is going to prompt the push already. Atomic going to be the first one to fall, however, so GSER are in a pretty strong position. So much better Uber actually coming out by the side of Crowns as well, so they can look to kite this and take these frags any way they'd like. Mr. Epic is dodging and juking. How is this man still alive? He's actually been arrowed up. It's a beautiful arrow at that. He is finally going to fall. 3 down now for GSER as this defense is looking a bit of a weak fence. That doesn't even work. I don't know why I said that, but there we go. Crown's going to be winning it 4-0. They haven't won the game just yet. If you're just joining us now, when it comes to 5CP, you have to win 5 rounds, at least with the European rule set, before it comes to the Mercy rule and ends the game. So there is 15 minutes left, and there is still a very, very slight possibility that GSER can potentially come back from this war.
Yeah, Demon needs to find himself a class that he can be comfortable on, because I don't think Scout is one that he's comfortable with, because he's god awful.
Well, this is it. Now GSER, they've got everything to prove now in this scenario, taking a lot of spam, big bump forward by Unlimited. It's not going to be enough as Crowns were completely ready for it. Sano with the counter frag onto Thaigrr. Can they make anything more happen? It's Dima really on the back lines trying to create some frags. Atomic trying to run them down. GSERs are actually looking pretty strong here. They've lost Madmac, so Ondkaja is just going to basically, he's just waiting up for this Uber. So they could actually crush them here, and they need to try and bring down Ondkaja. Missed Epic on the back lines. One mid shot, can he do it? No! AMS completely denies any hopes and dreams, and GSER, just to make it even more embarrassing. Ondkaja soars down solo. Dima is all on him. Can he do it? No, he cannot. This is not working out whatsoever. They're just dribbling onto the medic and not getting anything out of it whatsoever.
Yeah, Dima sort of, for a moment there, thought he was a good player and thought he could solo against 3 players and kill Kaya, but unfortunately that isn't reality. So he just dies.
Oh my goodness, they're just feeding. They're just feeding into them now.
It's just like a 1-by-1. Just going in now. Just like, you know what? At this rate of guys, you might as well just contribute to the stats.
Yeah,
that's all we're good for.
We're going to at least make Piers reach 400 damage per minute. But here we are. One last stalwart defense trying to basically come out by the GSER boys. It's a level 2 sentry that's getting spammed out quite a lot now. The big jump forward by Unlimited is going to try and do some work. There's actually Crowns that's going to be bringing down the sentry. And now they're just basically picking them off one at a time, one by one falling. Can they do it? Is yet to be seen. Timus, Uber finally being popped off. This could potentially be it. Crowns, they need to back off before they lose any more players. Thaigrr falling to an absolute sliver of HP. He's actually going to crater in the end. Dima finishing him up. And now this is where GSER have a little bit room to breathe. They can potentially turn this into a comeback. I don't want to say it just yet. It's the caster's curse. But GSER, if they play their cards right, if they start to not tilt, this could be doable. And it's actually Piers. He's actually behind the enemies. Can he do it? Oh my goodness! How does he hit those shots under the pressure? 1 shot, 2 shot, brings down Madmac. Unlimited and Mr. Epic going to be picking up those counter frags. But they've lost their medic in the process. War. What can they do?
I don't know. What is Piers made of?
What is he made of? Tell me.
Oh,
that's actually Mr. Epic is getting away with murder there in that scenario. How did he get away with that frag without dying? I do not know, but he's going to wait for that health pack, and it looks like he wants to go for more. He genuinely looks like he wants to go for more.
Piers must be made out of metal, because he's got nerves of steel.
Sick!
I know. What
Nice.
What is he made out of? He's made out of some sort of gelatin or something. This is insane.
I like the enthusiasm.
I'm trying it, but it hurts.
It's a bit.
So I'm going to stop now.
It's a lot of pressure, but there we go. Crowns looking to potentially make some plays. Uber going to be popped off. They've actually caught 2 players off guard. Sano and Unlimited going to be falling, and they're actually chasing them so deep now. AMS might actually fall here. I think he got a cheeky little arrow there, so he is not going to fall in the end. But 3 down for GSER. Already players on the last point. The second point's going to be capped up. Dima trying to take that 1v1 against Atomic, but you should know better than that, my little Sparrow Dima. You can't take those trades and expect to come out on top, as they are absolutely destroying them. Sano pretty much the only one left alive. Can they do it? So much cap time. It's a last-ditch effort. It's not going to be enough. The game is over. GG is called in the chat. 5-0 is the scoreline for Crowns. An absolute crushing performance by them, but one that we kind of expected.
I predicted it. I'm a messiah.
I'm interviews are not my strongest point. I don't really look forward to them at the end of a game. But if Dima's joining us, it'll be good. Logs are actually coming up now as well, so we can have a look at them. Do you wanna not break them this time, War?
Oh, I've just pressed all the buttons in preparation.
Right. Okay.
I've been playing Cookie Clicker just to get in, warm up. DPM wise, Timus did all right, but I guess again, when you're on the defensive, you can just spam to heavens and do what I do, just rack up the DPM and then say you're the best in the world. But
look at Dima.
Oh, Dima, right? Ah, man. I hope he doesn't come here for an interview.
Well, you're going to tear into him.
No, I don't know. Is this like...
You should, after that performance, to be honest.
Like... Is there like some sort of joke that I'm not getting here? Is he like a Russian version of Lupus?
I don't... I don't know. He switched around roles quite a lot. Someone in the Russian community described him as he thinks he's the Russian Banny, how he can play every role and still do good on it. But And clearly something isn't working out for him, and I don't think it's his team that's the problem, you know? So,
Well, and yeah, he might be the Russian version of Bani if Bani was a terrible gamer.
right.
But yeah, I guess he can think that. I still think I'm a good doorman, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. I think I'm a good analyst as well. Well, I don't think that's true. So yeah, it's awful. It's like playing against, it's like 5 versus 6. But anyway, we'll look past that. That's been and gone. I mean, the stats are sort of the same again. Atomic and Perez playing the best, I feel. They really did well, and I'm actually quite impressed with the teamwork from Crowns this time. This was a game that I was worried that they could beef, but they pulled it through. And I guess these are sort of like the issues with these sort of low prem teams, is that on DM heavy maps like Viaduct, there is like a chance where it may not sort of go so well, or the new maps, with Reckoner, it may not go so well. You might get surprised because you don't know how to play it as well. But yeah, they played it really, really well. So I'm very impressed by it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Their mid fights were probably the most impressive as well, especially the one where they didn't lose a player. Like the coordination behind that, both scouts being able to go behind, nobody on Crowns like overextending at that moment either, waiting for the scouts to get into position and then just collapsing together was really, really good. So these things are the kind of things that will...
It's promising.
Yeah, it will make this team not bad as long as they consistently do it. Yeah, they won all mids, so they didn't lose a mid fight at all. So that's really, really, really good. I want to go map frag percentage. Is it going to work though?
It is, yeah, and as you'd expect, it's just an absolute domination by the side of the Crowns guys. They're absolutely crushing 31% of their frags on the mid. The majority, over 50% in the own enemy's half, and hardly any at all in their own half. So
I can't even see it.
Okay, well, I can see it. Then
I've replayed it on the. I'm replaying it on stream, so I can see it now. But yeah,
this isn't. Sorry, carry on.
That's like really, really, really dominant, and I love this stat because it does sort of show you how the whole thing progressed. That's like the game went on. I would like to be able to use this when it wasn't like a complete roll, but all the times that I have used it, it has been. But it's it's really, really, really good. So they played well. As long as they can keep this up and playing this sort of playing with this coordination against better teams, then they'll improve a lot. I just hope that they actually do it, because Crowns or Saints or Publicly have been sort of for so long now, and they've got the players that will sort of actually take them to the next level. It's just that they've just been taking their time to get there.
Well, we can look at these stats all you want without breaking them again. I think they're broken. Are they broken? Yeah. Well, you need to just leave it alone. All right. You just need to stop touching things. You're messing it up. I don't know what's going on here. These stats, we can look at them all day, but it's not going to change the fact that it was an absolute roll, So I think I'm happy to move on to interviews. Are you happy to move on to interviews?
Oh, I'm more than ready for an interview.
Well, I believe
I've got a lot of answers for you. Oh, you mean not for me? Okay.
Maybe at the end. But we've got Ams, we've got Ondkaja, we've got Dima joining us from the losing team. How's it going, guys? And Thaigrr. Tiger's joined us.
Hello. Hey, guys.
First question, directed at Crowns. Going into this, most people probably would have expected you to win against GSER. They would consider you the stronger team. Are there any worries, underlying fears, potentially, that could have gone your way? Could have not gone your way, I should say.
I think we knew anything could happen, and when we lost that first round on Viaduct, it looked a bit scary, I guess, but yeah, we came out strong anyway.
Yeah, that's good to hear it. I mean, I'm definitely, after seeing that, I've got a lot more confidence in you guys anyway. I mean, I'm just going to be brutally honest, like, the performance this season hasn't been what most people expected of you anyway, but it's definitely, as War was pointing out throughout the entirety of that game, the coordination by peers and I've forgotten the Atomic, that's his name, was absolutely on point. This is a bit peeking into the future a little bit potentially, but Beavern is going to be replacing Atomic at LAN, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
No.
He's not?
We're
he's
gonna use
replacing
Bevan
Piers.
for Piers.
He's releasing Piers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you got Atomic, sorry, yeah. Do you feel like that could potentially hurt your chances at LAN? I mean, obviously, having a replacement is going to hurt your chances, but do you feel like it's going to throw you off a lot more than it should? Or
I have a lot of confidence in Bevan. I think he's a really good player and he's really keen at the game.
Yeah,
And
he's
been
really,
at
really
so
keen.
many times.
Like, he literally plays, even though he works night shifts and stuff, so he can't really play that much CF2, but he literally plays it whenever he has a chance, and he's watched some of PRS's demos as well. Like, we gave him a bunch, and he watched through them at work, trying to kind of, get an idea for how we want him to play, even though he hasn't really had a chance to practice with us. Like, I think he's perfect, and I think last time around, he did well at DreamHack Winter, I think, and he didn't really... he didn't really have time to prep properly, and he kind of left it a bit like salty when it was over. He was a bit salty about like not actually being up to his standards. Is what he thought himself. So now he actually is really keen to show everyone that he's the best.
that's good stuff. I mean, yeah, he's definitely experienced in the LAN department as well. I think it was actually us talking about it the other day. So you think he's definitely the number one guy to replace, and it sounds like he's incredibly keen as well. So sounds like good stuff. Dima. You there?
He's not.
Has he killed himself?
That's a shame. But I have I'm sorry.
Go on.
Get some
go
questions
ahead,
out. I've been. Let me just get my piece of paper out.
You're making notes. I like it.
No, it's just a bill. I'm just moving out of the way.
Right.
It's not funny. It's an adult thing. You won't understand yet. So let's have a look. So your game's coming up. You've got what? Perilous. I think it's your next game, if I'm thinking correct, in like a couple of days. So at the start, you obviously lost to Lego. Overall, you lost to Happy Farmers and comfortably spanked. Ended up with a draw. Are you sort of still hoping? And is the playoff spot realistic for you guys? Do you feel like you're playing a lot better as the season progresses and becoming more comfortable, or what's your overall outlook?
I think it would require a miracle for us to make playoffs at this point, and I don't think we're too upset about not making them. I think we're just really looking forward to playing at DreamHack, and then hopefully eventually at 58. The season's just kind of a filler in between. I'm not saying it's not some sort of excuse for not trying in the season or something, but we definitely are looking more at the lands, and the season's just a thing that keeps us going until then. Yeah,
Is playoffs 3 or 4 this season?
it's 4, I believe.
4. Well, if it's 4, then I guess you guys probably would still have a chance if Nameless carry on being bad. So I guess it just sort of depends on that. But if LAN is what you're sort of really focusing on, then that's obviously understandable as well. But overall, has there been quite a bit of practice over the past few weeks? Because some of the plays on Reckoner specifically, there was one really, really good mid-fight where I think you completely wiped all of them. You were left with 6 alive. I think it was P-Res and Atomic that managed to go behind, and then you just collapsed them at once. So have you guys been practicing more to sort of work on these timed aggressions and things like that?
I'd love to tell you that it's all been planned before, but seeing as I don't even remember which situation you're talking about properly, I'm pretty sure it was just the comps at the time were okay, and people hit their shots. I think we lack a lot, and we have a lot of work to do if we ever want to be even close to beating better teams. Even though that Nameless is supposedly a lot worse than they should be, we're still getting pretty consistently slammed by them whenever we actually get to play them. So we have a lot more work to do, even though it might have looked like we are better now because we played a team that's a bit worse. No offense to them, obviously, but I think it made us look better than we actually are. Not to take anything away from us either, but I think we have a lot of work to do.
Have you played against Nameless with their rumoured player shuffle?
Yeah, we got rolled by them in our warm-up tonight, and we played them once before as well. When you're talking about the Captain Scout and Stark Bucket, yeah. So I don't think it's hurt them too much at the moment. At least it looks like it hasn't really.
Okay. And obviously going into DreamHack as well, obviously with Bevan and him practicing, are you guys pretty confident as well for that? Are you hoping to sort of, contest top 2 or even win the whole thing?
I genuinely think we could cause an upset at that LAN. I can't say we'd have big chances of winning it, but I can say that there's a huge chance that we would cause an upset, because I think last LAN we were all incredibly comfortable. No one really had a bad LAN, except my LAN last time wasn't that great, but I'm very confident in myself that I will play well this time around, and I'm really looking forward to it, and we are all looking forward to it, and it's what's been our goal for a while. So I people might underrate us a bit, and that might I think that's an advantage to us as well. People are predicting us 4th, which I think is ridiculous. I'm certain we will not finish 4th, and I'd argue that we could beat either of the top 2 teams at LAN.
Okay, that's very, very confident. I mean, is any teams going to LAN with their full rosters, or is it sort of a few changes for each kind of thing?
Nameless have their full roster, I think.
Yeah, I know Perilous replacing Syl because he's got university exams, and Tech is going to be playing for them. So they do have Tech and Mike on Soldier.
Both Overwatch players though, so they'll certainly be bad after playing that for so long. You can count on that.
Shots fired, okay.
Yeah. I think I'm sort of all out of questions, if I'm honest.
Spent.
I wasn't really getting as much of a controversial responses, Ams. I was hoping you would call people shit, but speaking of shit, Dima.
I'm not shit, don't believe me.
Okay.
I made a few mistakes, maybe 14 mistakes this map.
Was one of those mistakes playing Scout tonight?
Yeah, no, not tonight, just in whole idea, just changing our roster was a mistake. We should just kick Shape and keep playing together. We got only one mistake and now we made 3-1. It's me on Scout, Unlimited on Pocket, and Sana on Demo Man. We should just keep playing together as we do without Chappy.
Is yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure Unlimited used to be a Demo Man, so I was confused to see him on Pocket anyway. But yeah, your season isn't exactly going beautifully, I will admit.
Yeah, it's alright. I just
well, you haven't won a game, so I wouldn't call it alright.
It's alright because we just in Prem, not every player can reach this top.
Yeah.
And we lost our carry before the season, and just we can't find replacement in Russia community for Nesh, so trying to find answers, but we can't find anything outside of beautiful motherland Russia.
Dima, it also shows that you've just left the roster as of 13 minutes
because
ago.
This was my last official in this season, because I should leave for summer practice from my university. Just tomorrow I gonna leave and won't play anymore in Prem, I guess.
Oh,
I'll be upset to see you leave.
That was probably a very disappointing final game then.
Yeah, it was. Everyone want to finish on top. I'm finishing trash can, and I can see Shappy right next to me. Oh, he's on PacChamp, sorry.
Sorry, what?
No. I just should make a shot. So, no shots on interview. No
That's
interview
fine.
at all.
You're fine. That's
Thank
fine.
you.
Yeah, that's right. So, what's happening with the team then, now that you're departing?
I don't know what happened with guys. I just left all on shoulders of Unlimited, and I think he's gonna do all right. We'll find some scout to play. Maybe it would be Clark, and he'll show more poo-poo gameplays than mine. So, yeah.
That's right. Your poo-poo gameplays will certainly be missed.
I made a plank that no one can beat it. No one could play worse than me tonight. So
no, definitely. There's Lupus. He can definitely play worse than you.
No.
Yeah, he definitely did play worse than you when he was in Prem. So don't worry, mate.
And he's Scout main.
Yeah, he is. Oh, I know it's awful, isn't it? How could someone so bad be in Prem? Anyway. Enough of the shots for myself, because I'm certainly going to make people upset.
You're like a sniper.
Yeah, hey, reference. But yeah, have you got any more questions, Bren?
My question game is probably the worst of any caster in any game ever because I neglect to make notes and I just get really excited, which I'm hoping to turn around for DreamHack anyway. But the only thing I can say is I'm really excited now after watching that game to see Crowns at LAN. I'm definitely hoping that I can definitely see you guys potentially making an upset, as you said. So I think last night on Fully Charged, I think I was like completely plastered and maybe made slip that I thought every team was shit, but that's not true. I think that the Crowns are probably in a pretty good position to win quite handedly a few games.
You're trying to say we're slightly not as shit as you were thinking?
Yeah.
When you watch back the VODs, which I know you will because you guys like to do that, I was nothing but filled with praise for you guys.
Yes, yeah.
Apart from Ams on Viaduct, because he did play pretty bad on Viaduct, if I'm honest.
Always give me so much shit. I tuned in after the fucking Viaduct game.
Stream sniping!
the
What the
only
hell
thing-
is this?
The only thing I
Ladies
just
and
hear is
gentlemen,
this
we have a
door
revelation
talking
here
shit.
as AMS, the
What did I ever
snake,
do to you, War? What did I
comes
ever do to
through
you?
and admits openly live on teamfortress.tv that is stream sniping. What? Why would you do that?
Yeah, stream snapping when the game is
did.
over.
Yeah, we all know what you attempted, mate. There's no trying to backtrack this. It's against the rules. You know this now, young man.
Yay,
Anyway,
poor public
sorry.
leader can't even get 6 points.
Yeah, that's a default map. Well done for admitting that. So, yeah, I don't know. I just felt you played pretty poor. You sort of overextended quite a bit. There were quite a few Ubers where you sort of jumped in way too early, and Kaya was sort of
true,
like
that's true,
trying to, yeah. These were the kind of things that I had to put up with TLR. You know, that's why I'm upset, Ams. You have all the potential in the world, but you ruin it.
Before anybody else starts any arguments, I think we should call it a night, I imagine, and move on to the shout-outs. I think that's probably fair. You don't have any more questions, do you? Or
Oh, mate, I'm all out. I've only got hatred filled inside me now.
we'll go downwards in the list. I'll start with you, Ams. Have you got any shout-outs?
Shout out to Barca Philip from Twitch chat, and Vandum, and Pires, and Herpy as well. Shout out to Herpy, he just asked for one. And shout out to the rest of my team, except Atomic, like normally, and Ondkaja too. I don't want to shout out him either.
Dima.
So I want to give a shout out to my team. Thank you, Zen, for this beautiful 1.5 seasons. I was doing pretty badly in last part of our second one, but it's alright, everything happens. And I give a shout out to Ondkaja and Atomic because MS is a dick.
Alright. Ondkaja.
No.
Alright, nice. Thaigrr.
Shout out to Maya. That's it.
Alright. War, any last words?
Shout out to me. Shout out to me, and shout out to whoever it is that decides whether or not I should cast for Team Fortress TV. You're the real hero.
With that being said, I think that's going to call it quits for tonight, at least. If you are just joining us now and this is your first intro into competitive TF2, firstly, I'm sorry for witnessing the role. And secondly, you can actually check out, we've got a fat tournament that's going to be kicking off next weekend. You can also tune in tomorrow. This is the show match for Spanked Nameless. No, that's Spanked Nameless is the ETF2L official. Straight after that, got even more fat gameplay with me and Admirable. We're casting both games, I think. And then we've got Spanked Crowns, which is the show match for DreamHack. That's going to be raising funds to get these boys and potentially make their journey a little bit easier in the DreamHack area. So you can also catch the actual event when it's kicking off next weekend. That's the 18th and 19th from about 11 CST, I believe. And that's going to be pretty nutty. So, I mean, I'd take time off work for that. I already have, because I know I've taken work, you know, I'm actually going there. But I'm going to shut up now and then the cast and then the stream. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope you join us tomorrow.